Well, God bless you. My name is Pastor Gary W. Lee Sr., and I'm happy to be recording this video clip for all the viewers. Today is December the 8th, 2012, and I praise God. I thank God for what a difference 2 years make. For it was this day, December 10th, 2010, that my only son was nearly killed in a horrific car accident. I'm calling it a car accident, but it was actually man versus car. Just a few weeks shy of his 17th birthday, my son was hit in an unmarked crosswalk, which is considered a crosswalk. Anytime you're crossing from corner to corner, it's considered a crosswalk, and that's where he was at when the individual struck him. Let me give you the scenario that brought on this chain of events. My son was at home. We were talking. He came to me and said he wanted to go to his friend's house to get his iPod, which was only just a couple of blocks away. And I told him, that he needed to be back home in 30 minutes. I told him he had 10 minutes to walk there, 10 minutes to shoot the breeze, and 10 minutes to get back home. And the crazy thing is, what should have been a 30-minute journey, my son should have left the house, came back, and been back in 30 minutes. Instead, he didn't show up for 51 days later. Let me go into details. So, after about a half an hour passed, 45 minutes, close to an hour, I'm still not tripping that he's not back. I know children are sometimes a little, they don't pay much attention to you. They lose track of time. Then I began to text him and call and text, and he wasn't responding. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, when I called, the call was going straight to voicemail. So of course I'm thinking, oh, this little dude's sending me straight to voicemail. He's avoiding my calls. And I'm thinking, with that very same phone that you're sending the voicemail is gonna be mine when you get back home. You ain't getting this phone. So time went on and on. I kind of lost track of time. My son has a tendency of sometimes just coming in through the backyard and in through the back door and going into the den or to his room, and you won't even know that he's home. So at some point, I'm assuming, well, maybe he's here. Walk through the house and he's still not back. Still can't figure it out. But I'm starting to get a little concerned. I'm trying to figure out what kind of lies he's going to tell to justify what took him so long to get back. Time was passing. Time was just going by, and now I'm really starting to get concerned. Just trying to worry, where's this boy at? So finally, maybe about 20 minutes to 9, I remembered I needed to pay my cell phone bill. So I took off to the mall. This was just about 10 minutes away. We know it as Fox Hills Mall. Uh, Y'all younger cats probably know it as, what is it, Westerfield, some of that nature. Y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all from LA. Anyway, so I go there, pay my cell phone bill, handle that, and the next thing you know, I get a text from my daughter. She said, "Where's my brother? He's still not here." So now it's 9 o'clock. It's been 3 hours, so I'm really concerned. So I decided this time, let me shoot on down to that friend's house. Go to talk to his friend. Friend tells me he never showed up. Man, what is going on? Begin to drive up and down the street, down the back streets, down the main street, down the alley, trying to figure out where in the world is my son. And at this time I decided, well, I better make that call to my wife and let her know. See, she didn't even know that he wasn't there. I hadn't disclosed any of this. I said, you know what? Junior's been missing for a few hours. Of course, she panicked. We called the police, and given the fact that he never showed up to his location, it sparked an interest in them. Um, they took a little information over the phone, sent out a squad car, came to the house, took a full report. And it's at that time that sent a blast to all the law enforcement agencies in the surrounding area. It's weird how my street is set up. Half the street is city, the other half is county. So we're county, so the sheriff came out and took the report. After they took the report, they drove by the friend's house to make sure the friend wasn't lying and that my son really wasn't there. They wanted to verify that. In the meantime, before they could drive down the street, verify that, and come back, I get a call from LAPD saying that I have some bad news. So when I hear that, my heart dropped. I want to say we have some bad news. Your son was involved in an accident. He was hit by a car. He's stable, but he has a head injury. And so the moment I found out that he was still alive, well, at least now I know there's hope. So I begin to pray. I begin to talk to God and begin to ask Him to touch my son, heal my son. Told my wife that I just got a call from LAPD and Junior had been hurt. He had a head injury. She's running around the front yard, hysterical. I'm trying to calm her down, to let her know that a head injury could be a bump on the head. It could be a cut. It could be a bruise. It can even be a gash, but he's still alive and he's stable, so there's still hope. We get out to UCLA Hospital in Westwood, and we go to the nurse's station and tell them who we're looking for, and they take us into a room. And of course, once again, the nerves begin to run when they take you into that room. Took us into a room. The nurse wouldn't give us any information. Said we had to hear it straight from the doctor. Doctor came out, said your son had a really bad accident. Said he has a broken lower back, broken shoulder, a severely broken leg. It's going to require surgery at some point. But the most significant injury is a head injury. He's suffering what is called TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury. And they took us up to, I believe it was the fifth or sixth floor, into narrow ICU. And there my son lay, tubes coming from everywhere, IVs everywhere. It was a horrific sight, something that I care to never see again in my life. And people, friends and relatives slowly begin to come in. We begin to pray and begin to glorify God for the victory before we had even received it. A few hours passed and they discovered that his leg, the broken leg, was starting to bleed on the inside, and that surgery that wasn't so important became important because the bleeding on the inside could have caused enough damage to that will require the leg to be amputated. They went in to stop the bleeding. They said if once they got in there to stop the bleeding, if he was stable, that they would repair the broken leg, do whatever they needed to do to repair that. Surgery lasted a little longer than expected. However, they informed us that as they came out of surgery, that he went into a coma. He went into a coma, stayed into a coma for 21 days. So many things happened within that 21 days. He developed pneumonia. At some point, he wasn't breathing on his own. At some point, his lungs were failing. Another time, I remember them telling us that he stood a chance of survival if there was no more swelling. And the next day, there was more swelling. His head got so big. I may be exaggerating, but the thing that comes to mind is a beach ball. Head blew up that big. Just a horrible, horrible time for us. And we were helpless. There was nothing we could do but trust and believe God. I have a saying that my children don't have problems because I fixed their problems, whatever it is. But this was something that I couldn't fix, something that I couldn't change. But then God stepped in. After 21 days, came out of the coma, and he began to get better rapidly. And he ended up staying in the hospital for 51 days. Part of that time was rehab. But when I tell you God healed the boy, he healed him. He's living a normal life now. No repercussions from the accident. The only thing that he's suffering from is he had to give up boxing. He was a heavyweight boxer prior to the injury, and he can't fight anymore. So I glorify God for healing him, touching him 2 years ago. Bless you.